How about now? We'll call this meeting to order.
Joe.
It is exactly 5:45. Any citizens' input?
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Any delegations? Hearing none. Any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? None. That's a new one, isn't it?
Yes.
Where'd I-
To just keep you awake.
Well, hey, sharp as a tack. I left my cheaters at home, but I caught that. So it says approved. Do we need to approve that? There's nothing to,
Approve the agenda.
what's that?
Approve the agenda.
You have to approve the agenda?
Previous agenda.
No, this one.
Yeah.
So we have to approve our current agenda. All right, do I have a motion to approve our current agenda? Joe, thank you very much. Is there a second?
Yes.
Thanks, Terry. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Our agenda has been officially approved for the first time in the history of the Golf and Cemetery Board.
All the names, illegal.
You know, things change. All right, approve our minutes from our last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve our minutes?
So moved.
Joel? And a second?
Yes.
Terry, thank you. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Our minutes are approved. Financial reports. Let's see how quick we can go through these babies.
We're gonna do bills. As far as cemetery bills, I'll let you look at it, but there's nothing out of the ordinary there. About the only thing is, on the very bottom, there was electrical fix for the baby section with the heart. When they put in that cement, they must have nicked the electrical wire for the lights, so that's what that bill was. Other than that, everything is pretty standard there.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, let's see, unless you guys have questions on something.
Not a lot there.
No, No, we're kind of running out of money towards the end of the year, so we didn't spend a whole lot.
He's good about that.
Yeah, well, good budgeter.
Um,
Sure.
The golf course bills, kind of the same, didn't have much to work with, so we were just kind of skating by, just trying to do everything we could that didn't cost money, so I don't recall seeing anything in them either, if you guys have questions.
No really big numbers.
No.
That's a good thing.
Yep. We've been working at that over the last, about 13 days though. so. The revenue and expenses got
Nope.
missed some. Let's see what it shows.
Gotcha.
Oh, it shows up on yours. What I brought up didn't.
Wow.
Okay.
I anticipated that.
Okay. All right, well, on mine, I will go to what I brought up. And if anybody has any questions. This one's cemetery, right?
Yep.
I'll just let you guys ask questions on the cemetery. We're a little behind in revenue this year from
Healthy people.
That's good.
It's a good thing.
It is.
That's
That's good.
time for dark humor.
Oh, yeah, that one's all zeros.
Oh.
New year. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Prior year, year to date. And only that, it says the year date too.
Yep. You got the right date in there, so. Mine is not.
But it gave us a total on it. Not gonna. Of course.
Yeah, move on to note. And mine is not reacting, so. Maybe I mean again. Yep.
695?
We ended up $1,500 short, just under $1,500 short of 700,000. Where are you at, Glenn?
This year, 5,000.
What's that?
We're up from last year in January, up by 1,000.
Is that fun pass or is that
Give
giving
me
you
that
that
stuff
stuff
out. Fun pass. And it's a
Um,
couple memberships
I'll-
stopped out.
So it got messed up here a little bit, but I'll just from memory what I got, if you guys got questions on where stuff was. Total revenue, we were just short of 700,000. Last year, we're 602. Driving range was really good. I want to say it was like 55,000, I believe. Cart rentals was 193. What do you got it?
I got two numbers.
Oh. So, yeah, so we're, yeah. So, art rental, driving range was really good. Tournaments, sponsor fees were really good. Very few items we didn't meet budget, so, on revenue, so.
So if Joel and I would have went out December 31st and bought our memberships, we could have gone over 700,000. We didn't think that through.
You didn't, no. Said we were 602,000 last year,
602,000.
and we were 695 this year.
698,500 some, or about $1,500 short.
So $96,000 up this year from last year.
Yeah.
Take it.
And straight revenue, I mean, I'm not taking into consideration expenses. but
Right.
Expenses were up a little bit this year from last year, but we weren't that kind of money.
Well, we had increased revenue, you get that.
Yeah.
Take it.
A big chunk of that was Eric's commissions on a couple things, so, and some other things, so. My computer's locked up, so unless you guys have specific questions, we'll move on.
We'll take a $98,000 increase.
Try a little harder next year.
Yeah.
Or call Jeff and I and we'll commit and buy our memberships.
Help you get that set of steak knives.
Oh, motion?
Yeah, I'm just making sure, we hit the bills, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay. Motion to approve the financials.
So moved.
Oh, I'm going to Joel, he beat you by half a second. Second? Got the second by Joe. Any discussion? Okay, all those signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The financials are approved. Maintenance contracts for the cemetery.
Servicemen's and American Legion are essentially exactly the same. We raised each of them by $60 per acre. Other than that, everything stayed exactly the same. So
And they're aware of it?
Yes, I had a talk with Dean Strand about it and got a feeling from him on it and everything.
How's the Legion hit that?
Essentially, I was told that if you raise one, you gotta raise them both, so. And really, it's under $200 for the Legion, so it's.
I don't disagree.
So. And then, are you moving all the same?
Sure. Yeah, all in one more.
And then Calvary Cemetery, we raised that by $500. So other than that, everything's the same. We will be having another, there has been conversations with them in the past about Emerald Ash Borer, so we'll be having more of a conversation with them again, and just make sure they're aware of. That's one of the things that if that comes through and we gotta take out major amount of trees, that's above and beyond, so.
Would they be responsible for replacing the trees?
Yes, if they want them replaced, the Calvary Cemetery would have to replace them. The Legion doesn't hardly have any trees, and the Servicemen's has a few, but I don't think any of them are ash, so. Calvary does have a small dollar amount for 6 trees every year to be taken out. They may or may not use that up. So,
Does it carry over for them to the next year?
no. If they go over that, they just pay so much a tree like Servicemen and Calvary, or Servicemen and Legion.
So they can't add it up and, well, 3 years from now, they get to take out 18 trees.
Well, they could just write us a check, so.
Anything else on the contracts? Nope. Need a motion to approve the contracts for the Legion, the Servicemen's, and the Calvary
Oh.
Cemetery. Terry, second, I need
Second.
Joe.
Joel.
Joe and Joel, but I'm going with Joe on this one. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Contracts are approved, and I assume I need to sign those, or
Yep,
will I do those?
I've got copies, so yeah, we'll sign them before we.
You got them here?
Yep.
Okay. Number 8, Graceland fees for 2025. We talked about this at our last meeting.
Yep, so what we ended up with, traditional grave spaces from 600 to 650, cremation grave spaces 300 to 325, grave opening 650 to 700, grave opening full size, double deep, 1150 to 1200, weekend fee from 350 to 400. Disinterment out of cemetery and disinterment back into cemetery both went up $50. So we really don't do a whole lot of them, but just make it a little nicer, rounder number.
What was the percentage of, you know, you said it, but I forgot, of cremation last year?
About 44% were been cremations. The last 2 years been pretty even. 2019, that number was down 33% or so, and it's just kind of crept up.
The number's higher than that, though, because.
Yeah.
What's that?
The number's higher than
Yeah.
that, because you're just talking the ones that are buried.
We're just, yeah, I'm just talking what we actually
You're not
buried.
talking about the ones that are shelved
Yep,
or scattered or.
yeah.
So like, what is your percentages?
It's 50%.
Hmm.
All of it, all day long. Yeah.
What was the one Kate Grandpa on the fireplace?
So nowadays.
Okay. And I know we've harped on the golf course a lot, but just as well with the cemetery. You know, you don't think of a cemetery as a marquee place for the community, but that is for our community. And you and your staff have done a phenomenal job. I know Terry will attest to it because he's had a bunch of them through his occupation, but great job. Places, I don't know if you can call a cemetery awesome, but it's very respectful, very clean, very well kept. And
And if you don't think it is, go to another cemetery
go to another cemetery is right.
and look. Are you gonna get those rates out to Bart and I?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. We're approving them now, so we'll get them due tomorrow.
And the bathroom got in the budget,
Yes.
is that right? So when's that happening?
Closer to spring. I've been having discussions with Dean about it and trying to get lined up. There's about 5 trees that will come out right by the shelter there. We'll probably do them here shortly. And I'm sure his mind zipping around on it. I'm sure he'd have it done yesterday if he could, so. So yeah, so we'll work through that. We did get, well, we can go through it later, but design work for cemetery expansion got approved also.
Hey, one quick question. Go down on those rates a little bit, will you? What I'm looking for is weekend rate after 2 o'clock. or 1
Oh,
o'clock.
after 1 o'clock, yeah, I guess that's not on there. It's another 150.
We raise that too, please. Can we raise that?
Can we change that?
Well, we can't today because it wasn't listed on there, we can change it, so it's something we can address next month.
Okay.
Is that something everybody agreeable, fun?
Yep.
Okay.
So we can add that to our,
Weekend after 1 o'clock.
our February meeting?
Yep.
Yeah, what was it now? I'm trying to remember. what it is.
It's 150.
150.
An extra 150 if you're not in the cemetery by 1.
1, okay.
I hate to ask this question, but what is full-size double deep?
So instead of digging 6 feet deep, we go,
You're here, your wife's here.
Oh, double, okay.
Not twice as deep, but
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
So the first one that goes in goes 8 feet down instead of 6 foot. So the second one's actually a little closer to the surface than a normal one. But, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Glad you asked.
Don't know if you're gonna ask.
We maybe do 1 or 2 a year, maybe.
Anything else on the fees? Need a motion to approve the fees for 2025 for Graceland Cemetery.
I'll make the motion.
Terry?
Second.
Joel? Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. They are approved. Okay. Clubhouse report. Did you get a lot of play in December there, Eric?
A few calls.
I can't do that.
Yeah, well.
I got a call from Joe wondering what his phone number was. Couldn't remember it on the voicemail.
You know, you never call yourself.
No, I don't.
Just a note at the top, but we finished with rounds of 37,155, which for Lakeview's an all-time high. I think Dan mentioned the 32,000 back in 2012. Thought that would never be touched. Last year was about 28,000 rounds, so almost 10,000 more, which shows on the financial report. And like I said, probably previous meetings, I didn't think we'd have a year like we did 2 years ago, last year, and then we had one. So see how this year goes with traffic. Golf's probably at its all-time high with players, different players from avid golfers to beginners, new people. So we'll see when the spring rolls around, how the year goes for us. I did my holiday golf sale in December, finished that up, decent traffic, sold some of my stuff, did sell some gift certificates to people, a couple for a membership, and then another for a couple rounds of golf for the 2025 season. Those were all sold at our rates that were for 2024. We updated our fees that began January 1st, 2025. I did have an attachment that Kevin can pull up that has our new fees that we approved 2-3 meetings ago, I believe, the membership sheet, what it'll look like next spring when we open up. Right there. Hopefully it's all of it's correct and everything's good to go on that end. And then when I am out at the clubhouse, I'm not out there too often, once or twice a week, just doing some housekeeping stuff. I do most of my stuff from home with scheduling. We'll get into the scheduling here next, the tentative schedule, just so you guys can kind of see. It hasn't changed from a meeting or two ago when I had, 2 meetings ago when I had the tentative schedule up. There is a few, or not a few, one, if you want to go, so we can just go through them. April, it's got all the same ones. The first high school tournament that can be played is on April 4th. Then the Dakota Wesleyan Men's and Women's Spring Invite that we've had now, this will be the third year of it. Then more high school stuff basically gets the year going in April. Then you go to May. And there's some fitting day stuff in my schedule, but then more high school stuff goes into May. The one that will be changing, if you see that arrow go down to the 19th. So Mitchell Christian fundraiser, that's always on the 23rd, the Class B, that is most likely going to be moved to Monday, the 19th. It will not be moved to the 16th. And I'm not sure if the Class A region is hosting yet for sure, but that one on the 23rd for the Class B will be moved to the 19th. Then that's pretty much the new one that we did not have last year will be the DW Team Makers. That's scheduled on the 30th of May. And Joel, you're the contact for that one.
I am.
Okay. So if you got any questions, talk to Joel on that one. June, the only one that I did not have on the last schedule, they wanted me to pencil it in, the Chamber Golf Classic. They usually go back and forth between Lakeview and Wild Oak. I got an email from Lori at the Chamber that I didn't have it on the calendar because usually they go to Wild Oak after having it at Lakeview. She had emailed me, asked me if that date was open still, which it is. So I penciled it in, waiting for more information from her. June, then that Grand Open, that's a tea time thing at 10 a.m. or at 10 a.m. So that's not a shotgun. And then everything else on there is reoccurring stuff, except for the class reunion. But that again is a tea time thing, not a shotgun thing on the 28th. Go to July. One that me and Jason had discussed. I got contacted by Alex Kretschmeyer, the Dakota Wesleyan football coach. They want to have their Dakota Wesleyan football shoot and putt, where they do their trap shooting in the morning and their golf in the afternoon. But after looking at the July schedule, he wants it on a Friday, July 11th or the 18th. But each one of those has followed up with 4 events in a row that shut down the course. And granted, I don't know what the city tournament will be like this year. If one day will be at Lakeview, one day will be at Wild Oak. This last year, the city tournament was both days were at Lakeview. And then it's followed up with the Monday tournament and a Tuesday tournament. And the following week, we host the SDGA Adult Junior and Junior Championship. What are your guys' thoughts on another event that closes the course for 4 to 5 to 6 hours on a weekend? I consider Friday a weekend in the golf business.
Pretty good income, and you start at 1 o'clock, so all your seniors can get their 18 in. and all your evening calls, hopefully get it in. And it's a $5,000 swing.
I'm not anti-tournament, because I obviously play in a lot of them, but, and you're right on the money. But, you know, we're starting to hear some feedback from the members, and it's just something to keep in mind. I don't know what you're hearing.
A little bit of. There's two different types. There's the weekend play and then the weekday play, where guys that play a lot can play their rounds during the week, which is fine. And then there's the ones that just play on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays that.
Yeah. Is there any way they could do that on a day other than a Friday? Or is that going to be their big deal?
I didn't ask that because I told him that we had all our Saturdays in July were already filled, and he just said, we'll usually do our shoot and putt on a Friday. So then I showed him those 2 dates, and I let him know that there's 3 recurring events back to back to back right after both of those Fridays.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Kretsch, but I think I can speak for him on this. The reason that they do that on a Friday is because his guys move in early, his freshmen move in early, and they're taking classes then, and they have their Fridays off from class on then, because then they use them to like work and do those things.
When does school start?
Well, school doesn't start until August. Go down, Kevin. Probably go up into August. Probably August 25th probably is when they'll start, because we're a week later than usual again, because we go with the regions again. So probably August 25th. Likely. I don't think it's been announced, but I would say it's probably when we're going to start. But I think, can you go back up into July for me? I think his guys are probably going to move in maybe that July, either 7th or 14th. It's going to be one of the, it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be, it's either going to be that week of July 7th or that week of July 14th. It's going to be one of them. But they don't have classes on those Fridays, and he uses them for, and then plus, you know, he's got a bunch of alumni that come in who golf in this and do this, and, you know, bringing them in on a Wednesday or a Thursday doesn't typically work with schedules and those sorts of things.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Jason has maintenance scheduled he's got to get done too. I mean, it's a $4,500 to $5,000 fees to the city for it. It's my concessions revenue that who knows what a Friday might bring. It might be a busy Friday with regular play or green fee play, or it might be dead and we could have put that event in. Or the weather could be iffy and we might not have anybody out there, but the event would go on. So I just know as the winter goes, I mean, each week I get a call, not each week, every other week, 3 weeks, I get a call for an event just like the chamber. There's going to be more small ones that are going to go in there for tee times. I don't consider the tee time ones really an event. That's just taking up tee times. People can play around it. It's the ones that for sure will close the course down for 4 to 5 hours during the day.
What do your Friday afternoons typically look like for play?
Last year was busier. Friday started the weekend for everybody. Fridays we did, I look back on, in July, we had 176 one day, 155, and I think 162 with no tournaments. And I mean, those used to be weekend days, where weekend days were now 215 plus rounds, so. It depends on too how the play is this year compared to last year, with Wild Oak being possibly open more than last year with new ownership. I don't know. I guess I know what you guys are probably going to say is leave it up to me and Jason. We'll make the call and decide on it, and we'll take the scuff if we have to, but.
I guess on this one, I want you guys' input on it, just because of all that stuff going on through there.
The city tournament's only, even if you do both, it's only probably 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
tee times, so you can play in front of it, play right after it. And most likely, I'm gonna assume one of them days will probably be out there this year.
I'm assuming so. The best day for, the 18th, I don't even think should be consideration with big dummies and then STGA. The 11th would be the only day to host it. And I can talk to Alex if he's thinking it's gonna be I didn't ask him if it's gonna be a recurring event or if he's gonna want to go back and forth or just if he's trying it out here. We've never had it before. How long have they been doing the shooting putt, do you know?
Been doing it for a while.
It's always been at Wild Oak.
It's always been at Wild Oak, yeah. Like Simple started it, and, you know, it's just something that's continued on. I mean,
Have you played in it?
oh yeah, I've played it for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Like I'm certain it's just not knowing like the situation, right? And just wanting to get something set in stone because they're wanting to market it and those sorts of things. You know, I mean, I don't think it's, you know, any shade towards, you know, Wild Oak or anything like that. You know, they're trying, like, they just need to get it set in stone because they want to market it, you know, and those sorts of things. So they want to know where it's at. Same thing with Team Makers, right? They just want to get it out there and they want to get it known. So they want to know exactly where it's at and what they're doing. Like I can tell you that, right? You know, and I mean, you know, like Dan says too, you know, I mean, like city attorney, I mean, it's tea time, right? So I mean, like, I know that when you look at this calendar, you're like, man, that's a lot of dates. But like some of these are tea time. Like not all of them completely lock down your entire course.
What's the deal with the new events?
So we left a weekend open between the SDGA thing with all those events, and then the member guest is the first weekend in August, which closes down the full
Gotcha.
weekend.
The member guest was initially here.
Correct.
Yep. Well, I'd say if you're going to do it, the date you have on there is probably the best of the, well, easily the best of the two options.
Which one?
The 11th.
But if the football players aren't there, they can't do it.
Or we go down to the 25th.
I will be gone, I can tell you that. My staff could handle it, but I'm just telling you, my daughter gets married on the 26th.
Well,
You gotta be there.
Somebody's getting ready.
you're not getting married.
Yeah.
He just said someone's gonna write a check.
You can send a check.
Yeah.
Send a blank check. Don't fill any blank.
Yeah.
25th might be the best. I mean, it's coming off the SDGA championship, but that still leaves the Saturday and Sunday open for play with a Friday taking.
I wouldn't do it.
The only thing there,
5 days in a row, hard.
the only thing there
11
is there's, 5 days in a row. I'm gonna be able to get minimal maintenance done those days, so the 24th, I'm catching up. So,
Are you okay with the 11th?
I'm more okay with 11th or the 8th. And not because of what I got going on, but the
No.
11th works the best out of those 3 dates.
Are you talking about for Kretschmar? Hey, because I'm just,
Get chewed up for closing the course on the 25th too, very quick.
I'm just,
After all them days of hard closing.
I'm just looking at like email communication that I've had on like move-in dates and things like that. And I'm thinking that he may end up asking more firm on the 18th.
Yeah, his last text to me was would the 11th or 18th work, July 11th or 18th, that is.
When was that?
Monday, January 6th.
Okay. Yeah, because like they're dictated on the NAIA on when they can start practice and like those sorts of things. And then like we got other calendar limitations that we're tied into, right? You know, and like when we can move in and like logistically, like when it works.
Well, if we're gonna move forward with it, tomorrow when I get on the phone with him, I'll just say, does the 11th work? And see if it works for him and.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, and, like I'll let him make that call,
18th
right?
is worse than the 25th, as far as Jason get ready for an FCGA event and then close it right in front of all them other events. That'd be suicide.
Yeah, I would definitely say 11th is by far the best option for us.
Yep, see what he says.
Yep, let him know. And it might work. He might say, yep, nope, that works just great.
Okay, so onward from there, July then finishes up. I'm still working on July. We'll have dates. You can see little tick marks I have in the bottom left-hand corner of like the 14th. Those are some of the 28th. Those are some of the dates that the first T junior program will be coming in. I'm still working out the schedule that they'll be on the range and practice green with Kelly Singston from first team. So, but I won't be putting those on this schedule. They'll just be just like my junior golf times.
And they're never going on the course, correct?
They'll just be on the range on the 2 practice greens, nursery green. And then August, nothing new there. The only thing that wasn't on the schedule last year was the Marchand Cup because that was in Yankton last year. This year on the 26th, it is in Mitchell, and everything else is reoccurring other than the member guests got moved back a week or forward a week, I should say. And I'll be sending out an email probably in the next day or two, just specifically member guest email, just of the date change, so people are aware of that. And then September, tea times, Parks and Invite, the Dorn Zen's annual family reunion, our 2-person, high school, everything's reoccurring. Baseball fundraiser, I haven't confirmed the date of the baseball fundraiser, but that's just the date they had last year. And then Tim Smith's 27-hole shootout and then crop insurances. And that is the calendar for the year as of now. Nothing in October. I may see if the Dakota Wesleyan baseball will move theirs to like that first weekend in October, just to get one of them off the weekend away from the Tim Smith 27-hole shootout. I don't know if that would be better or worse. What do you think, Joel, from a sports perspective or from a baseball?
He usually ties that together with his,
Oh, yeah, they got that.
like fall baseball game,
Yeah.
which I don't know that has to be tied to a specific date, so he may be able to move that.
Well, that's what I got for schedule. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'll keep it updated as next meeting comes if there's more that I get or. But everything from the 2024 schedule has been moved to the 2025 schedule for the reoccurring dates. So, and all of them have been confirmed with an individual or another from that, either fundraiser or tournament.
Nice job of shuffling.
Yes.
Or juggling.
I got one that might be a Dan question, but 37,000 rounds this year. Where are we at with the budget process? We were told that there's some things that might be put back into the budget. I'm concerned with course play. Like same thing I said a couple meetings ago, 37,000 rounds, that's how many more divots, beaver pelts out of our par 3 tee boxes. And, we had asked for, some of the money that we had asked for in the budget this year was to, fix and repair and do some work on our tee boxes. And that was some of the stuff that got taken out of our budget, and was hoping that maybe that was some stuff that might be put back in. Do we know where that's at and if that's a possibility, or is it too early to know?
Nothing's been put back in. Nothing's been, no talk about it.
So is it possible, or is that dead in the water?
Yeah.
Be an uphill battle, it's possible, I suppose.
Because 37,000 rounds and like $698,000 over $602,000 last year, right?
How much are you looking to get put back in the budget?
I don't know. Like, how much did we ask for to fix our tee boxes? Like, how many rounds did we do last year?
2 years ago? Or this last year?
This last year?
37.
No, the year before that.
20, 28,
25,000?
5,000.
So we did 12,000 more rounds this year.
Well, I think, let me try and clarify this a little bit. I think what got cut was the the new phase project. I don't think anything got cut from what we were asking, was there?
Capital?
For just normal, yeah.
Oh.
Not capital.
For maintenance, general maintenance, nothing got cut, everything exactly how I put it in. The only thing that got cut was capital improvements, and they all kind of got lumped together, so.
Which we're going to try and propose again.
Right.
For the general wear and tear that you're referring to.
Correct.
I don't think anything was cut.
My understanding was the stuff that got lumped together, part of that was we were going to do some work on our tee boxes. Like, we were going to do tee box work, like the sign was lumped in together in there with that.
The sign got put back.
We did get the sign back.
Yep.
Okay. But we're also looking at doing work for our tee boxes.
There was a request for some tee box work and some cart path work.
Okay.
So that got lumped in and that got cut. So where that stands, I don't know.
Okay. That's what I'm asking for.
And part of that was, it was kind of in a gray area, so when we asked for it, we didn't know we were doing those back tees on 15. We didn't know we were doing this or that. We had to shift gears, so since a lot of that got done, it was kind of hoped that that would just go towards, keep on going towards tee boxes, but, so.
Right. Because again, like, I'm concerned about the infrastructure of the course with the continued heavy lift that's happening there, right?
I guess regardless if it does not go back in, what my intention is just to push fertility and top dressing and that kind of stuff. If it's in, that'd be great. We can work on some of that stuff. But if it's not, then we're going to do what we can. Will it be enough to sustain? If we got another year like last year, or we'll fall behind a little bit. So, yep.
We did get the sign back, though?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I just asked that this week, as a matter of fact.
That had to happen.
Yeah.
That had to happen.
All right. Anything else for Eric? All right, Jason, clubhouse report, and it's 30 minutes from kickoff.
I think I can be winded.
That's enough.
Yeah, I'll just breeze right through. If you have questions, holler. Got a few items getting ready for Purple Wave. There again, talked to Dean on the bathroom, researching cemetery expansion design options, getting new utility vehicle ordered, inventory of equipment and supplies, and working on my annual report. I'll just keep rolling. If you guys, we can go back. Community garden is getting garden contracts ready to go out. For the golf course, most of the tree removal is done. We have a couple that we need to do. All the stumps that we had cut down except for 3 were stumped. And then we had a breakdown If weather cooperates, I think we're going to try to get out this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and do some tree trimming. Working, just starting on a tree line and start going. Working on financing and the final details for the new equipment that I'm getting. There's 3 pieces already in Omaha. The sprayer and Ventrac will be a little closer to spring by the time we receive them. There again, inventory of equipment and supplies. I'm planning on going to the national conference in San Diego, but I will see if that happens or not with what's all going on down there. I haven't bought my plane ticket yet. So. I won't go into this, met with Jeff and Kevin on what we didn't get done in our projects, but we're not going to go into that in detail because of the sensitivity part of it. So.
Talk about expansion at the cemetery.
Yep.
Tell me what you're talking about.
So we had $20,000 budgeted for design work, concept design work. It won't do the whole design, but it'll at least give us cost estimates and that kind of stuff. So we have the alfalfa acreage on the west of the Servicemen's, and then we have the area to the north of Calvary Cemetery, between Calvary Cemetery and 14 T-box. So there's about 3 acres there, and there's a little shy of 20 acres in the alfalfa field. So what I'm hoping is we can get kind of a concept plan on both, see what costs are, and see which direction would be best to go go one direction or the other. If we do the alfalfa field, it'll probably start with a smaller section of it, and then develop that, and then move on.
Kind of like they did at Servicemen's.
What's that?
Kind of like they did at Servicemen's, start with
Yep.
an area, just keep moving as you need to.
Yep. Yep. And we'll develop it as either money is available or need is available. So, unless there's questions, I will.
Any other questions? Our next meeting will be February 10th, and I am planning on being gone, so brush up. Joe,
Yeah.
I've got a Robert's Rules of Order manual for you to read beforehand. And February 10th. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. We're adjourned. Skol.
Where are you going to watch it? I said, where are you going to watch it? Your house?
My living room.
Where are you gonna be down in February?
Where?